All right, well, there we go. Now we're in the ad break. Sorry about that. I had to get an update on my brother. He is, or was, in the hospital. Actually, he is in the hospital, and so that is a thing. But apparently he's going to be fine, which is great. So let's take a little look at that sale. This is the 7th anniversary sale, which we'll be looking at first because we'll be looking at the Eisa. So when I was going to their website, I initially went straight to ReDragon.com. That's a mistake. Go to ReDragonShop.com. Then you get what you need. And what you need, well, I don't know if there's anything you need. But if there is, they have 20% off site-wide, including the keyboards that you will see today. And the first one we're looking at is this waifu keyboard, a waifu character that they developed internally. So the first keyboard we're looking at is going to be this one. It is a waifu-inspired keyboard. The waifu that they created, apparently. It's not based off of a character from any other anime franchise or anything. Just, they're like, we needed a waifu on this keyboard. You know, whatever. That's fine. The waifu's name is Eisa, apparently. And as you see, they have a whole bunch of products that are related to this, including a little gaming mouse pad that, you know, whatever. Little gaming mouse pads are lame. If you're going to go big. Well, not everybody can do that, so I'm just kidding. But it has a lot of features. A lot of them are pretty standard. As opposed to the Gallatin Pro, and actually kind of fixing and explaining part of the Gallatin Pro. You have 3 keys up here at the top, which we'll see when we unbox the keyboard, instead of the little screen. It's a hard gasket mount, hot swap, pretty standard, unless you're Keychron. Comes with standard switches, die sub, PBT. They use die sub because of the colors. The other set, I believe, is a double shot. We'll look at that. And then it is wireless. So you can see by hitting the function delete what your battery level is, which is fine. Of the ReDragon personalized character, Eisa. I would feel better if they just gave us more, you know, background for good old Eisa, I guess. I like the story. I watch things for the story. Hey, End of Greatness. I'm just looking at the keyboard that we are going to be unboxing in just a second, and kind of going to their... so this is not a VIA compatible keyboard. How are you doing today, man? Yeah, so this is not a... You have to download the software and install the software. Which isn't bad. It doesn't trigger any alarms on my computer So that's good. And then the yeah. So if you're looking for a keyboard or anything, check out their sale. It's going on now. It is their 7th anniversary sale. But if you like the Eisa character, I mean, she's cool looking. They also have a themed mouse pad. You can buy them as a combo. They're a low profile keyboard. Here's the Eisa mouse, which you can get right now for $8. I mean, it's a mouse, I'm sure. I know. They didn't send me the mouse, so I'm not showing it to you today. But and then you can get a mystery box. Everybody loves a mystery box. Speaking of mystery boxes, we'll be opening up some, or looking at some Ghost Judge keycaps after. But the Gallatin Pro, which is the other keyboard we're going to be looking at as far as this, basically they're sort of the same keyboard, just the patch up here has been replaced. So let's go ahead and we are going to look at this. And here we go. Here's the Eisa. Put our mouse off to the side, let it charge. Oh yeah, there is all kinds of companies that will sell it to you. I mean, besides the mail, which they have that. So we have the keyboard, which we'll look at in a second. We'll set it off to the side. Carefully, other keyboards. It actually came with the instructions. In my overzealousness for showing off what we were going to be looking at this week, I managed to spill those onto the floor, and the instructions went underneath my desk. Like underneath my desk. So they're gone forever. Or rather, if I end up giving this keyboard away, which I probably will, I will get that for you, whomever wins. I'll make that sacrifice, figure out how to get something from underneath my desk. Yeah, there's a couple of people who do unboxing videos of the undeliverable mail. Also Amazon pallets. They were really big for a while, and then the people were doing it, so the prices shot up. Not sponsored by Code Zero, but if they wanted to sponsor me, I would take that sweet, sweet Code Zero. So it comes with a generic rubber cable with an L, because as we'll see, the plug for these keyboards is on the side. Then a keycap switch puller, pretty generic. And then the switches that are included in here, which are mustard colored. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but pretty generic ReDragon switch. They're Otimu switches. And those off to the side. Let's grab that keyboard. Comes with a branded cover. If you're into the cover thing, you know, like the Cover Girls. Y'all remember that band? And then you have the keyboard itself. That right there. Alright, yeah, this is the keyboard. It has die sub. Has a pretty decent sound. Actually, the keyboard has decent amount of flex, considering with this gasket mount. And it's probably because it has. Yes, love the Ouija board desk mat. It is actually I actually stole it from Freya because she wasn't using it, and I wanted something more earth themed because I was working on green keyboards, green colored keyboards. I also have a new Cyberpunk 2077 desk mat that will probably be on my desk for a future one that I got at Denver Fan Expo. And that's fun. So you have the Eisa character featured here to wrap around. Then some characters here, some little symbols here. Basically, I don't know why they right shift and tab and not on any of the other ones. This is your delete key, also featured for some ungodly reason. The insert key, the worst key ever on a keyboard. So, you know, I don't know if everybody's familiar with my rant regarding the insert key. The insert key for 95% of the population serves no useful purpose anymore and is only there to fuck you up. Because you'll accidentally hit it, and then you'll accidentally start typing over the characters that you've already written. It does no good. Oh, you're gonna be in town soon. Yeah. Just let Chick Nate know, and I'm sure that we can get dinner or something. Yes, Winamp. You mean that application that went end of life about a decade ago. I mean, it really whips the llama's ass, and yet it still went end of life about a decade ago. So, anyway, I love the color of the plastic, and this is an ABS plastic case, by the way. If you don't know that, I will let you know. No doubt that it is still the sleekest media player out there. Winamp was way ahead of its time. And when I used that kind of thing, because I just upload everything to the cloud now, but when I use that sort of thing, it really was the best. And I had used it from, I've been thirsty. I have an injury on my toe, so been drinking Coke and water, alternating, depending. So at the top, we'll flip it around so you can read it. It says wisdom and courage, but I mean, this color blue is really nice. And then you have the bottom, which has the full print, apparently, which was designed by Hera. I assume that is the artist. Eisa is boobalicious and has this thing here. I don't know. Is it supposed to end there? Does it extend? Am I just not seeing where it extends? I don't know. It almost looks like it's generated by AI. It probably is. The font is okay on these. They're easy to read. The contrast with the blue and the pink is nice. Unobtrusive, I guess, is better than nice. And it really works. And so you also have your, of course, this is a gaming keyboard. So you do have lighting effects. It wants to connect right now. I'm not connecting it right now. I will cable it up in a second. You can see the side profile. There you go. And you can see it's got your an off is for wired mode, which is where we'll put it. In Windows and Mac, you have your ReDragon branding there. On your opposite side, you have the 2.4 gigahertz dongle, which I will drop immediately, as is my wanton desire. As it was a well, the doctors don't really know why I have it, but basically I have an ulcer on my toe that came open, and it's gross. I'm not going to go into it because it's gross. Suffice it to say, I have injuries on my toe. I have to wear a boot, and check out the Discord. You can see a picture. It's behind the Heidi wall. But so let's take a look here. This is the keyboard. We'll do a sound test real quick. Go ahead, pause the music. Oh, it has flip out feet, as you saw, which brings it up to 6 or 9 degree typing angle. And let's go ahead and we're going to do that typing test. Oh, it has flip out feet, as you saw. 6 or 9. Hold on. I have to mute my YouTube stream. Okay, now we're going to do a typing test. So that's the typing test, as you can hear. Every one of the stabilizers here are rattly. And yeah, so I believe that they are the same as as the Gallatin that we're going to look at in a second, which means that they are plate-mounted stabs with absolutely no option for a or for a PCB mount stab. But what they do have, and this is one of my pet peeves, one of my other pet peeves is, so they have an option here for a split left space, but they didn't actually put the sockets in. So, yeah. You can't actually do a split left space, which makes sense because they didn't flip this middle one, so they would be the hot swap sockets would run into each other. So you could theoretically cut the plate. We're not doing this today, install hot swap or uninstall the hot swap socket here, install hot swap sockets here, and split your left space. That would be up to you. We're gonna go ahead and. Do I have any loop up here right now? I think I got to. Yeah, I do. Okay. I mean, it's not even lubed. They're dry. Completely dry. No wonder this thing is rattling. Because these are not your highest quality. Actually, this is lubed. So the stem is lubed, but the wires are not, which is weird because that's the thing more likely to rattle. Okay. Alright, so of course more than my toe, apparently. One of my estranged brothers managed to land himself in the hospital. And I found out today that he's going to be alright, so that's good. So these also, they have north-facing RGB sockets. That is for the gamer RGB, so that you can have shine-through keycaps. Hey Freya.
Yes.
My brother is going to be fine.
Good.
They managed to stop the bleeding, and he.
He got an ICU.
I don't know if he's out of ICU. They're still keeping him, but.
Well, yeah.
So on the spacebar here, you have foam inserts. That is dampening. They did not move the wires at all on this keyboard, which is weird. Weird. Well, this one has a little. Can't even really see it, but there's a tiny bit on there. So they gave their best effort. They did not give their best effort. Even with this lube on here, and I don't have any current unexpired dielectric grease to use, but there's still going to be a bit of a rattle, I think. I would have to do some more tuning and whatnot on here in order to really get this stab into fighting shape, but I probably wouldn't do that. I would probably just replace these with some Designer Studio or TX, probably Designer Studio since you can get them cheaper, or TX stab, plate mounted stabs. Can't use Paigu stabs because they're PCB mounted. You know. So the RGB on here is not as bright as the other one. That's better. They all suck. They all suck. Let's just take both of these out at the same time. I can do both. Who makes mustard-colored switches, honestly? Who throws a shoe? Alright. Oh, you know what? I forgot to restart my music. I should do that. And if anybody's curious, this is just Novel Keys 205G0 that I'm putting on the wire. Normally, I don't need to worry about it as much because of the stabs that I usually use are better, but so what are you gonna do? Plate mounted stabs. Ugh. How hard is it just to put a couple holes? Alright. And stab. Switches back. Don't forget to flip them, because they are plate mount. North facing RGB. You did not go in there, did you? You did not. Okay. There you go. It's better. Yep. Okay. You guys off to the side. All right. Done, and done. All right. So now we have some lube stabs, which makes it a little bit better. So okay, and we're gonna restart our music because dead air, dead air, dead air, dead air, dead air, dead air, dead air. And we will bring out our Gallatin Pro. This was featured on a previous stream, and this is another keyboard by ReDragon, and it has basically the same thing. I'm not going to take out all the extras, but it does have different switches in it and a different profile of keycap, as you can see. But otherwise, I mean, you can obviously see where this area here is just this area, and they just took out the switches, which kind of fixes and explains why this is the way it is. Because that was one of my complaints about the Gallatin Pro, was that this screen with this big field around it makes it end up looking very, it makes it look smaller, even though the screen itself, I mean, the color was good, it was decent, the brightness was all right. I like the knobs in the corner. They are a size that even Freya would enjoy. They're just big enough to be able to grab, but not too big, and they're in the corner away from everything else. So, this is acting funny now. I'm looking. Oh, because one of the inserts came out. Okay. See, these are double shot, and these are die sub. And then the sizing on each of them are 1.2 for the die sub. I'm guessing probably a little bit bigger at 1.5, 1.6 on the. Let's see if that's actually the flat side. That it was curved. It was on a curve. So also 1.2, which is what I kind of thought. And these are the melon switches, or no, matcha switches, I think. We can go look. On the Galantin Pro, the switches are called Mambo switches. And on the Eisa, the ugly mustard colored switches, I don't think they're called that though. Hi-Fi Custom. They're a Hi-Fi Custom switch by Temu that are just custom. That's all they're just called custom. But they are lighter. They're a 40 gram actuation force switch. Standard 2mm travel, so they are not a speed switch. Speed switch will normally be between 1 and 1.2 millimeter actuation travel. But they only have a total travel on these switches of 3.3 millimeters, which is very short. At least, to me. As opposed to the Mambo switch, which has the same actuation travel, same actuation force, but a 3.6 millimeter travel. But yeah, what do y'all think? They're obviously reusing the case design. This one is like, I love this blue. I'm kind of upset that they have this on the back. I would accept this if it didn't have wisdom and courage on it. Not that I lack wisdom or courage. Who knows? Anyway, but just having words. Words are the devil. Oh wait, except for I'm doing keyboard stuff, which is all about words. So let's try this. I'm going to pause the music again. So this is the Galantin Pro GH. This is the Eisa. So this is much more clacky on here. But what happens if we switch them? What do y'all think? Is it going to be still as clacky? Yeah, I think this double shot, these double shot keycaps in this profile are actually better on here than the die sub. The die sub are going to be deeper because die sub, and we'll go into die sub just a little bit later when we're talking about keycaps, but yeah, that is interesting. So let's go ahead and let's flip the switches. And then we'll put them back. And I have to admit that I'm a little biased. So if y'all disagree, certainly let me know. But I am not as big a fan of OTMU switches. Okay, so we'll put that back on there. Put these on here. So what happens if we switch them? So this is the original switches for this keyboard. A little bit different from side to side, but that's why I give you the comparison. This is the OTMU switches. So these are the Mambos, or rather these are the OTMUs on here. And then these are the Mambos. I think they have just a less sharp bottom out, and that's really the big difference. I find that the sharper bottom out kind of emphasizes the little bit of rattle. I don't have a good term for it, but basically the stem is not quite as good. It also looks like this has 3 layers of foam. I think the Galaxy might have 5. Let's take a look here. Because it looks like there is a foam layer, but it doesn't look very... Let's see. Is there stem wobble? Is that what I'm sensing here? Hard for me to tell. I mean, there's definitely stem wobble. Is it worse than the Mambo? We can say it could just be case material of the stem, but we'll take a look at that in a second. I mean, neither of them sound bad. Like, especially for the target audience, which are going to be gamers looking for a budget keyboard, and again, one who likes the aesthetic here, or likes the extra keys that are offered here. They are reassignable. You know, I was, crap it on the insert key. You can make the insert key something else. Unfortunately, since this is a die sub set specifically with this character, if you're buying this for the character, you're not going to be able to replace this switch because there's nothing to replace it with. The mic is doing what it did last time, which is weird. Hold on, let me check. All right. How about now? Is that better? Thank you, Plastic Bits. And welcome. Hey, nobody go to that link. I'm not going to bother to get rid of them, but whatever. Don't listen to them. They're lies. It's all about big, cheap views. All right. Can you hear me better now? Is this good? I'll continue on. You let me know. So, that being said, I guess I need to do new sound tests real quick. So, here's the Gallatin Pro. Let's bring this down here a little bit more. I do not have any mods. I am way too poor buying keyboards to hire any mods, and I don't know that I really get that many people. I get like one of these guys each time. It's just they show up, they do their cheap viewers, and I would rather actually have you guys here, my friends, actually interacting with me, or even not, just, you know. I don't have any Twitch mods. No, I don't. Well, no, that's not true. I do. I have... What is it called? Stream Elements. I have Stream Elements that I don't know how to use. So, I think that can do things like that. Let me see. Oh, that's not going to work. Hold on. Nope, that is set correctly. Do /mod, then do user. And what will that do? Am I like rejecting the user? Oh, I was going to do a sound test. This is the Eisa. Okay, so that's the Eisa, and get the music back. I'm hoping the music is not coming through echoey to you guys, because it looks like it is. I'll need y'all to tell me about that. Anyway, so going through real quick, you can take this one apart. This is mod-ish friendly. There are a total of 10 screws, 5 along the top, 5 along the bottom, and then actually I'm not going to take this one apart. And then there's case foam, some silicone, and a pour-on foam layer. Inside the plate, it uses a PC plate. Plate mount stabs does not support non-plate mount stabs. Hey, I wonder, just because I'm curious. We took this off before, but I didn't look at the time. No, okay. So if you really wanted to mod your keyboard, oh, and then we go straight into commercial. Let's get this thing packed away. We'll talk about mods on the Eisa, which should also be for the Gallatin Pro, possibly. When they come back, I'm going to grab another drink. All right. Okay, so if you wanted to do mods to this keyboard, probably the most interesting keyboard, or probably the most cost effective is going to be a tape mod. You do not need to do anything like a force break since it's made of plastic. There's no resonance from that. I would personally change out the switches. I have some switches right here. We're not going to change out the whole keyboard, but I did want to show you. Like the Mambo switches made this thing sound tons better in my opinion. And I want to say that my good old friend, these are the HMX Finicky's first encounter switches. So they're a little bit heavier at 42 gram actuation force. They have a milky housing. So as we'll see when I do this real quick, we're going to test the sound. I'm not going to stop the music this time. I'm just going to do a little. In my opinion, that is a much cleaner sound. And then, if you switch on the RGB, you can see there is a noticeable difference in the glow coming from G and H versus the rest of the keyboard. And that is because of the milky housing. So this thing is going to grab onto that RGB light, if you are into RGB light, and it's going to, like, I get these from Unikeys, and, I mean, you can see the difference. You can hear the difference. They have a better feel. They have less stem wobble. I mean, it really is the difference between an HMX switch, which I love, and an Otimu switch, which I do not. They're not bad. Again, I'm not saying that these are bad. You can run this thing stock, certainly if it's your first keyboard, and you can enjoy it. It's a good keyboard, especially for the price, which is certainly right now, because it's on sale, again, at their 7th anniversary sale that is going on right now over at ReDragon. You can get the Eisa for, this is $75 full price, and then you can get 20% off with the code 7 years, which is their anniversary. So that is the Eisa. I hope y'all enjoyed the Eisa. Now we're going to get the Eisa out of the way, and we're going to talk die sub PBT keycaps. Oh, you're right here. How's everybody doing today? Is everybody having a wonderful Sunday? Did you have a good Saturday? Did you do anything fun? Have you seen Superman yet? I did. I enjoyed it. I'm a Marvel guy, so I am looking more forward to Fantastic Four. I love the styling they're doing for that. Superman had its problems that I had with it. If you're a longtime Superman fan, you may have some of the same issues that I had with it. I'm not going to tell you any of my issues because it's rife with spoilers. I like the fact that they did the less super-powered Superman, not the, because I mean, Superman is the original OP. Well, he developed into the original OP. He wasn't. I mean, originally he couldn't even fly. Alright. So, let's talk Ghost Judge. So this is... Come in. Thank you. We'll get rid of the switch info. These are the Ghost Judge switches. Now, the Ghost Judge switches that I've gotten previously had a slip case over this that just said Ghost Judges. Didn't actually say which one of the keycaps. The most recent ones I received, which were sent to me by KPRepublic, A, for the purposes of reviewing them, and B, so that I can let you know about the blind boxes. The blind boxes, which are going on right now, they'll send you a random set of Ghost Judge keycaps for $23.50. You should be able to use the code TheAdept024 to get $5 off of that. Just for one. It's $5 off your first purchase using my code. That being said, I love these keycaps. I have already, and I kind of figured that this was actually me kind of cheating them, because I already own, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9 sets. Actually, it's 7 or 8 sets, because I have their Blue Sam twice, because I have the International Edition and I have a regular edition. We'll look at some of those as well. This is their Space set. With the, I think it's Haragana, somebody can correct me, but Sub-Legends. And it comes, this is the kitting that it comes with. And we're going to put this off to the side. I was originally going to build this into my QK80. However, with the toe injury, I had to work from home on Friday, so I was unable to go to work and grab my keyboard. And I was busy all weekend. So, this is the Space set. Let's get that. So it comes with this janky ass keycap puller. Don't use it. I use the Akko ones. Are great. They come with every Akko keycap set, and I have lots of those too. The kitting on these is actually really good for they're $42 for a keycap set. Pretty much every one of these keycap sets that they have is a clone of a popular set, usually GMK, but they do not use the novelties. So basically they use variants on the colors, having them be slightly off to not incur anybody's wrath, I would assume. But it comes with your normal TKL set, which is this from here to here. Your numpad for your standard keyboard. From there, you go into, it has the alternate tilde, if you wanted to have the dark tilde. They don't include the dark backslash, which is a freaking shame, because I would love it. Then, you know, it's basically got a 40s set in it. Some of the international keys. You got your Alt-GR, you got your Win, you got your actual Windows keys for your Win use. 0, 0, 0, spare B for Alice keyboards. Now, this is one of the places where I have a problem. I love the fact that they include all these space bars. I do not like the fact that they are not the base color, because in the case of for instance, it's the most prominent one for me, is Blue Samurai. In the case of Blue Samurai, I don't like using the gold accent keys at all. For example, let's take a look at that set. You stay there. So this is that set on here, and this is being run plateless with silicone plate foam on a hot swap keyboard. It is how the Glitter 65 R1 actually works. So there's no plate here, but it is hot swap. Basically, it just goes into the positioning is done by the silicone plate foam that it has. But it's a nice set. You still have things like your slightly extra space on your T's, on your shifts, which are pretty standard. Yeah. So this is their Blue Samurai set. It's nice. I enjoy it. I have 2 of them. And even though I have multiple sets of GMK, I have one Blue Samurai set of GMK. And, oh, I forgot to do that. Anyway, I'm more prone to use my Ghost Judge sets over my GMK sets, more so because it is more shine resistant. Do they shine? Yes, definitely. They don't shine as fast, and being a less expensive set, you have to worry about it, in my mind, less. That being said, they are a cheaper set, therefore you might care about resale value on your GMK set. Yeah, you don't need to worry about resale value here, because I mean there is none. The price you would be able to sell a Ghost Judge set, people would just buy another Ghost Judge set and not have to worry about your grimy hands being on it. And so this is the kitting. This is the kitting that they have for every one of their sets, and I love it. I love it. And let's take a look at some of their other sets, and then we'll mount up. Regulators. Mount up. So, this is their Salon set, which is a green themed set, obviously. This is on the Agar. And you can see, obviously, the alternate colored accent. It works with the Agar, with the Salon set. I think that this is elegant. I have it. This is using the mechanical PCB, obviously. I didn't mention these are 1.2 millimeter keycaps. So you can see the extra space on the shifts as normal for these keycaps, and that's something you've got to accept or not accept. If you don't accept it, don't buy the set. But I mean, if you look at other sets, this is the Win Mix set, and their shifts are a little bit tighter, but there's still a bit of a space for their T's. And this is an alternate. You can get this from Win Mix. These are $20, but there's $30 of shipping from Win Mix, unless you buy 5 sets. If you buy 5 sets, shipping is free. You get them for $20 a piece. That's an alternative. They don't have the same colorways, so you would have to determine that for yourself. But so that's a good alternative if you want a bunch of sets. Oh. I grabbed the wrong keyboard. I'll be right back. Well, I'll leave you here. I'll be right back. I did bring it upstairs. All right, so this is the Salvation. However, I have swapped the PCB so that it is a 68 key PCB, and I have added some extra foam, because I love foam. If you know the channel, you know that to be true. So this is the Nautilus set. This is the set that I have the most, or I had the hardest time actually getting. It is often out of stock. And yeah, so you can see the kitting here with the single 1U shift, which surprisingly still have enough room to put a little bit of an extra space on the letter T. But overall, again, you can see the legends are consistent, and they've been consistent on all of the versions that we've put out here so far. And they have overall a very nice sound to them. You know, so overall we've got some good options as far as the color sets. Again, you can buy them outright for $42.50, or currently they're running blind boxes that you can get a random set for $23. Either way, you should be able to use the code VADEP024 and get $5 extra off if you've never used that code before. And that's $5 off your order. And now, let's take a look at this. We have an ad starting in a minute. I am going to start unmounting this die subset that I've got on here, which I got it from Drop. And this is the Polygon, by the way. The Polygon 7 from Wind Studios. Or from Daring Run, which is Wind Studios. Anyway. The Ola is Wind Studios. This is Daring Run. Anyway, same company. So, just so you can get an idea. And I'll see you right after the break, and I'll start getting these off, and we'll talk about die sub. All right. Yeah. So die sub, which these are some actually pretty thick die sub keycaps. So these are about 1.5, 1.6 millimeters die sub. So they're going to have a much deeper sound, and that is accentuated by the HMX Bad Sweetheart switches that are in here, which are what these are. These are a new switch. They are one of HMX's deepest switches yet. There is supposedly a new, deeper HMX switch, which I do have on the way, and we'll look at that in a later video, hopefully next week, when I am building the Photon. I think I might not have time to do the Photon next week because we're going to be looking at induction keyboards next week. I have the Ducky induction keyboard, but I'm getting sidetracked here. We're talking about keycaps. And we're talking about keycaps and sound and shine, which are going to be your main, well, look, feel, sound are going to be your main three items in my mind. So when it comes to look, die sub have the tendency to be a little hazier than other types of switches or keycaps, and that is because of the method, the die sublimation process. It has a tendency to spread, because if you've ever put an ink pen down on damp paper, you'll see that the ink gets grabbed by the moisture and then it spreads out. The heating process that is used for the die sublimation can have sort of the same effect on it. So getting good strong color and getting good crispness on die sub can sometimes be a challenge. This set does not suffer from that problem. I mean, if you look at that, that is crisp and nice looking. Sound, die sub will be deeper, followed by your double shot or triple shot PBT, and then followed by double shot or triple shot ABS, which is what GMK uses. Now, GMK uses special blends of their plastics. That is a proprietary mix that they bought when they bought the patent for the double shot process from Cherry way back in the day. So that's actually why GMK keycaps generally sound better than most other ABS double shot sets. The more you know. So the Space set is another one of those sets, kind of like the Salon set, to where it really shines when you use a few of the accents, which we are going to do. Namely, the same ones we used on the Agar, which are Inner, Spacebar, and Escape. It gives it just a splash of color, in this case the red. Is that? Yeah. Escape and enter. Now I've not tried this set on here. I believe that the combination of the red and the inner and the beige are going to be absolutely awesome, but I don't know it for certain yet, and we're going to find out together. Oh, no, I think it'd be good. Oh, I do need you. Oh no, I do not need you. I gotta remember how my layout is. The one piece that I need that I do not have that we will be substituting is going to be here. Oh wait, I do need one. One more key from there. We're gonna have Control, and we're gonna have Alt, and then we're gonna put the other Alt on the other side. This is actually my function key right here. So that's just how it goes. And we've got pitch up. I'll need end from the other set, from the other container. Delete. Print screen. And my shift. That's going to be all the keys I need from this set. Or from this case. By the way, I love the only box holder that I like better than the Ghost Judge is the Osume. And Osume gets the win because they mark, like it's actually written at every place what key goes in that spot, and that is just bonkersly good. Bonkersly, I say. Put 1, 2, 3 over here. Oh, I can move that from there. Okay, moving along. By the way, I think that the Bad Sweetheart switches go with this very well because the stems really kind of match the accents. I love it when my switches match my keyboard. It's a thing. Look it up. It's not really a thing. Don't look it up. Something else I need to grab from the other boxes. Because I love my step caps, yo. You're my boy, Blue. Does anybody have an opinion about Ghost Judge and the fact that they are basically clones of other sets? Like I said, I don't really have a problem with them because they don't use the novelties. So it's not like they're stealing original art, and I don't believe that colorways are something that you can really, they're not really for you. Oh, goodness gracious, glory be. That is 1. That is 2. End key and our little Windows key. There we go. I could have put the Win key there, but I like the Windows symbol better. All right, here we go. Look at that. Yeah, I think that this matches very well with this keyboard. I think it goes. Let's go ahead and do a sound test real quick. So that's the base, and yeah, I think again, I think the legends are crisp. I think the sound is good. Any problems with this sound, I think, would be more the bad sweetheart switches, which may not be to your tastes. And let's go ahead and pop some finicky first encounter switches in here, just to see. We can also go deeper with Y3s, which I also have on hand. Since this has no shine through or no RGB, that is not a problem. So which sound do y'all like better? And this is a much more subdued sound, so it works better in an office environment. But something about this sound is really nice, which of course is why it's my favorite switch. And let's see, let's try a Y3 in here. Grab a couple of Y3s, we'll drop them in for the J and the K. And then we'll run all three against each other and see which ones we like. So here's the bad sweetheart that we've already. Here's the Finicky's first encounter. And here's the Y3s. So this one has a softer sound on the bottom out. This has a more pronounced bottom out, but is much deeper than this. And this is really, I mean, this is kind of the range that I look for. Ooh, they actually sound nice together. Great. I like it. We could just try making the spacebar stronger. Okay. What do you think? Think I should put in first encounters in my polygon? I think I should put, well, there's a sound to my Y3s. I think I need to clean them and re-lube them. So I don't know if it's coming through, but there's a bit of a scratch to them. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Like the Flash changing the future. I'ma do it. Yeah, let's go ahead. We'll do that. If you're using this kind of wire, try to avoid brushing the top of the case. You will eventually scratch your aluminum finish. If you're taking apart the polygon, always be careful to hold down your side pieces when you do it, and if you're just changing out switches, don't forget that this thing, I'll show you in a second. I'm going to change out the top and the bottom, and then leave the middle, and then do the middle by itself. And that is to keep the positioning plate and everything where it belongs, since it's a small 3-column row that is isolated. Come on. There you go. Stabs do not want to let go of that. Yeah, I guess I didn't need to do that. I did it anyway. Oh, music. Music! Sorry, my stream is always so scuffed, you know? It's part of its charm, I guess. But I have a lot of information in. I'm going to leave that spacebar alone. That spacebar is already where it needs to be. So yeah, when you're doing this, hold down the middle, take out 1, take out 2, leave the middle, grab your switches, and you put in 1, you put in 2. Since all these guys over here are already done, we'll just put those in there. Don't forget this is an ISO supporting keyboard. That's why they face this direction. In case you did not know that, now you do. The more you know. Do, 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 do. Alright, Y3s. Back you go for now. I love you so much. But you got that noise to you that I gotta fix. I have so many keyboard projects that I need to do that are less fun, so I don't do them. Alright, so then you take out the middle one by itself, applying a little bit of pressure here so that you don't pull it out of the housing, because it will just come out. And then that is done. So now I do the other side. 1, 2, put those off to the side. All right. And then one more. That is all in. And so we have our small daughter boards here. Now we'll work on the rest of it. I do these in rows. Currently, I think, let's double check. This is a ball catch keyboard, so I can do this, which is fun. Except for I have nowhere to put it. And so we'll set it up there carefully so that it does not fall down, because that's how you get... Oh, no, doesn't matter. So when you're changing out switches on keyboards and you're just kind of doing it the worst possible way, like I am, if you are, in this case, if you were using the top mount, you would want to do them out row by row, because otherwise the PCB would drop when you took out all the switches. You don't want that. In this case, I have the dumbbell gaskets, which are PCB mounted. So if we were to take out all of the switches, which we're going to do, the plate is just going to rest on the foam. If you are running it without plate foam, then you would want to do it row by row, just to be careful. Hey, it's like man, there's a lot of ad breaks for Twitch. Kind of a shame that I'm using these first encounter switches on here because there's no RGB to take advantage of the Milky. But I think I have enough of them. And if not, I would totally buy more. I have no problem with buying more first encounter switches. Although, again, I have some new switches coming in I'm very excited about. One is a new HMX switch. I just got some new HMX switches, as a matter of fact, that were supposed to be a deep sounding switch. The ones that are coming now are the first HMX full palm switches. I forget what they're called. They're available on Unikeys. If you want to buy them, I have an affiliate link that you should use. I don't know why. I don't think they've ever given me any money actually, but maybe one day. Because, you know, at the end of the day, I'm just a small one-man shop who buys most of his keyboards himself. And man, is this an expensive hobby. Which reminds me, if you like my content, go ahead and follow, subscribe, do whatever, you know. I love Amazon subs, because that's the best. Because it's like giving away free money. All of these should be sliding in as easily, and I find that the HMX first encounter switches actually lock into the plate pretty well, as opposed to like the HMX Akko mirror switches, which have a slightly higher pitched sound signature over the first encounter switches. But not as high as some others. And I enjoyed them. I have a bunch of those too. They were starting to be my favorites, and then I tried these, and I'm like, oh, yeah, never mind. All right. Hey, we got another viewer. Hey, viewer. How are you?
They just sound like they snap into place well. I picked the method that I do, the order that I do this in, for a weird reason, or well, not really weird. It's a little weird because I don't generally run keyboards without foam, but it's the order that I think most likely, if I'm going to have to make corrections, it is the order I need to make the corrections in. So I tend to do my 4 corners first to get my positioning plate into position. In this case, I didn't have to because I had 4 keys here in the spacebar. Then I start here and I run along the outsides until I have all the outsides. Then I do this row because in case without foam, when you have the spacebar, they can droop here and here because there's nothing supporting it. And then I just do the middle 2 rows. If it's a keyboard that has an F row, I do the F row, and then I do this row, and then I do the bottom for the same reason. The F row and the top row goes first because it's also the most likely to droop because of the outside. Not catch, rather. Alright. Wrapping this up. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. What was that guy's name? Oh man. The orchestra guy from like the 70s. Alright, make sure that your daughter boards are going. Then that goes on. Okay. Perfect. Got our F3 over here. Should be our F2. 1. Let's just grab a bunch. Control, Windows, caps lock. Backspace. A little preview. Alright, getting into the home stretch here. So I recommend that if you are going to be pulling keycaps off, and again, don't do it like I did, put them back. Put them back in their case, even if you're just moving it to a new keyboard, if you're doing something else. I find this process actually goes faster if I can just go bop, 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 bop between boards and the case. So the extra time you spend putting them back in their case is generally worth it. Sometimes I just brain fart and don't do it, and then I get done and I'm like, I should have done that. Why am I so dumb? I'm really down on myself sometimes. Alright, here we go. This is the keyboard again. This is the Ghost Judge Space keycap set, the HMX Finicky collab, also called CHU, C-H-U, or First Encounter switches, on the Polygon 7 with full foams. And we're going to do a sound test. Okay. Which is pretty nice. I like it. That is that. All right. Cool. Does anyone have any questions or anything that they would like to ask me about the well, while we're here, let's go look at the keycap sets themselves. So this is the blind box, and this is some of the other sets that you can get. Obviously, you have your standard wob. I forget what they call that, but it's fishing, a neon set, a white on green, almost a botanical. And this is kind of their bento, I think. Space. That's Yeah, so it could be any of these, but I think it could also be any of the other ones that they have. So you have the Deep Ocean, which is a really nice set. I have that set. Apollo, it's the Apollo set. It's basically a gray set, white accents. Black on white. Mars. Damage. Sakura. There's the Nautilus set that I showed you. Oh, that's right here. Industrial, that's the one. Yeah, Botanical Garden, not botanical. Oh no, Botanical Garden. Fishing, which is a nice set. I have that set on something else. Shallow Sea, which is a good set. I don't know if I have that one. Salmon, which is what this one's called. Shimmer's a nice set. It's got that gold keyboard or space bar. I wanted to use it on a 7U set and didn't want to use the gold again. Ocean Current, which is kind of a blend between the Deep Ocean and one of the other sets. I think it was Fishing. Interstellar, which is another gray set, but with black. And of course Salon, which we showed off on the Agar. Space, which is the set that we have here. There's Shimmer again, Mobius again. I think that's all of them. So those are all the sets that are possible. More than likely it's going to be one of the sets that were pictured. I don't know why they would do that, but I didn't see neon in that, so maybe not. I have neon as well. It's a good set. But yeah, that's all the builds for today. Is there anything else? Otherwise, let's see. Is there anybody else streaming right now? Keep Science is building an Alice Duo. Yeah. So, I am going to actually move you all over to them. And thanks for joining me again. It's awesome that y'all come and spend this time with me. And I will see you hopefully next week, where we will be looking at induction keyboards, the Ducky and the EPO Maker, which are the only two that I'm aware of on the market. If there's a third or more, let me know. I don't think I will be able to get them before the stream, but it'll be interesting. And then we can take a look at that. And if you have any questions, reach out to me on Discord or on Instagram or here or on YouTube, which is also here because I'm streaming to YouTube right now. And I will answer just about any question that pertains to keyboards and just about any question that pertains to anything. I have very little filter. So with that, thanks for joining me. And I will be moving you over to Keep Science. Have a great day.